5 minutes after 2 on our radio station. Faisal Hilali on audio engineering, Sofian Benjima on live streaming, Hayatou Kebri in the studio for this daily edition. And we have the pleasure to have with us in the studio today Marouen Helali, a young entrepreneur, founder of the Center for Innovation, SENECA, which was inaugurated few days ago, on the 3rd of May, maybe more precisely. Marouen, a very ambitious young man who believed in his dreams and who has come back to pursue his dreams here in his country by founding a startup, not like any simple company, but as a technological bridge between the Silicon Valley and Tunisia. Marouen, it's a great pleasure to have you with us here today. So if you can tell us a little bit about a little bit more maybe about yourself and how did the journey start?
Yeah. It's my pleasure to be here and to be invited, so thank you for that. My name is Marouen Helali. My journey starts in Tabarka. That's my mother town. That's where I was raised. I went to high school there. I did my baccalaureate there in mathematics. And then right after, I went to the United States.
Just after the bac?
Yes, just after the bac.
So you pursued your higher studies, in the U.S.?
Correct.
All right.
I went to the university in the United States, and my objective was to do computer science.
All right.
And I knew that the United States was one of the best places to do that due to their technological advancement and availability of resources. So I followed my dream and I convinced my parents, which was very hard.
No, I'm sure.
And I went to the United States, and that's where I studied. I did a bachelor's in computer science and another bachelor of science in mathematics, and I graduated in 3 years, a little bit quickly.
Wow.
And yes, I had 4.0 honors. Academia was relatively easy to me, and that's thanks to Tunisia, to my country, because what I learned growing up here and what I learned in the higher education in Tabarka and in Tunisia was extremely important for me. I was actually very advantaged when I went to the US.
Right. Okay. So the startup, the Center of Innovation, SENECA, what's your actual invention here for this center?
Yeah. So before I could speak about SENECA Innovation Center in Tunisia, I need to speak a little bit about how it came from America.
Okay.
So I participated in a lot of hackathons. I've been in the US for 10 years now. I graduated, I've been working for 7 years. I have a lot of industry experience. I was a developer, then an engineer, then a systems engineer, and now I'm a site reliability engineer. Fancy term for a cloud systems engineer with managerial role. And I participated in a lot of hackathons. Those are like computer science programming competitions. I won some, I lost some, I built a lot of amazing stuff, but I never had the opportunity to present my project to a business audience. Just this January, I had the chance as part of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, to participate in a pitch competition where I took my idea and I presented it in front of an audience. This idea is about decentralizing AI. That's the main startup. It's Decentral AI. So currently, I'll explain it very quickly. Currently, if you want to use AI, you go to ChatGPT, you go to Claude or Grok, and those are all centralized entities controlled by whether it's Elon Musk or Sam Altman, just servers that people have. So they're taking our data every time we use messages there. That's why it's free. It's not free. You're actually giving them all your information every time, and they're using that to train their own models. So my idea is for everyone to have their own AI decentralized, completely decoupled from the centralized entity, so you can have your own AI within your company, and you can use your own data with it without exposing it outside. So I presented my idea in the pitch competition, and a lot of people were really amazed. And I was also asking for, I don't have a very big business background, just a few tricks I learned in Tunisia, but my major is computer science and I'm focused on technology. However, I was able to pass my message very easily and very well to the audience, and they were all really impressed, and a lot of people were interested in investing and partnering with me, whether by being my client or by providing me funds or strategic partners in order to grow this startup and build decentral AI. And my first thing that I said to them was, we can build decentral AI in the US, but we're going to need like 10 engineers and we're going to need to pay them really high salaries. And I'm not very confident that they're going to be able to build it. However, due to my background and my country and the few key people that I have been working with for a long time now, I'm very confident I can take this project to Tunisia and build it, and it will be amazing. And I can build it much faster, easier, and I know the people that can actually make it happen.
Right. So this solution is really decentralized AI, as you said. So each company can have its own data, keep it for itself, etc. Not something like an open source that everyone can share, that everyone can use as well for the, for other maybe means, for other ends, etc. So it is different from the prior solutions that exist, right? The advantages of this, not only the fact that maybe on a business level, when you bring it to Tunisia, you have maybe you can employ engineers with the same maybe knowledge, background, etc., but at lower salary rates, not like the United States, right? Okay,
correct.
So this is one of the motivations.
Yes, that is one of the motivations, not for me, but for my business partners. Because, they have budgets, they have funding, and they want to put their money in the most, the best bang for your buck,
right.
the best outcome. So aside just from it being a little bit cheaper, I also know that the capacities of our Tunisian engineers are much higher than the average capacities of people in Europe and of people in America. So I was able to convince them of this. And also in Tunisia, we don't have access to the same resources worldwide, or specifically in America, because they have very high access to really good cutting edge resources, whether it's the best servers out there, the most premium tools, being able to get MacBooks, use strong servers and use like ChatGPT premium memberships and all that. So being able to bring that to Tunisia is what's going to make the difference. And decentral AI is the first project, it's just the beginning. It's just the first project that will bring the funding to SENECA Innovation Center. SENECA Innovation Center is much bigger than just this one project.
How big?
So SENECA Innovation Center is just going to get this funding so we can hire the team, train them, get them up to speed, provide them the resources. And ideally, we're going to build many more startups and projects under SENECA Innovation Center. So SENECA Innovation Center is kind of like the big incubator of all these projects. And what I want to offer in SENECA Innovation Center that is not available, that what makes us different from other companies and from other development teams, I want to offer complete creative freedom to our employees, to my partner, to my team. So if you think this is the best way to solve a problem, I believe you, and I want you to do it that way. And I want to provide you with all the resources to do it. And what I think is really important in Tunisia that is not available is allowing people to own part of their intellectual property. I had an experience throughout my career in the United States where I built a really amazing project during a hackathon. But after that, the company within which I built it said that project belongs to us. You cannot open source it, you cannot use it, you cannot give it to anybody else.
Intellectual property.
Exactly. So that kind of made me mad. I was like, that's inside my brain. How can you tell me that's yours? So
how did that develop? I mean, you just left the project with them?
Funny story. I rebuilt it all in a completely different language, following a completely different logic, and it's actually called.
Well, since it's your product, you know how to
I was
go
able
by.
to get around it. But yes, I just completely rebuilt the whole thing and I made it open source on GitHub so everyone could use it. And we actually had a lot of help from people all over the tech community. Just come in, help it, use it, provide it to their friends. We even got grants for it from companies to allow us to continue existing.
To improve it as
Yes.
well.
But that was just like an experience on the side. Why this is important is when I'm building Seneca Innovation Center, I want people to be able to own part of their intellectual property. So in the beginning, for sure, you're going to just be learning, you're going to work with really good engineers, you're going to grow, and then you're going to help me with the job tasks, like decentral AI, we need to build it.
Right.
You have 10 tasks a week or whatever, you need to complete them. But I know for a fact that our engineers are very smart, and with time, they're going to be really good building new things. So they can easily do their 10 tasks or whatever a week, and then they're going to have some free time. That free time is all yours. Just build whatever you want. You want to build Tunisian chat GPT, whatever you want. Go ahead.
Right.
I will encourage you. I will provide you with the resources. I will provide you with all the tools necessary and incubate you so you can make your project successful. And once you got a good project, the idea is working, you can own part of it. You'll own shares of the company, which is a first in Tunisia. There's no companies that provide their employees with shares. Like, for example, in America, if you're an early founder of Facebook or Airbnb or whatever, you can own shares of the company. So a small percentage, but once the company gets a really high valuation, 0.01% of a million is like...
That's right.
Is
and,
a big
it
number,
makes something.
Exactly.
Right.
So
right.
I want to offer that opportunity.
And you have decided to establish your company here in Tunisia, in Tunis?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
In Menza.
In Al Menza. Right. Okay. And the inauguration, tell us a little bit about the inauguration, about how did you, publicize, if I may say the word, for your company, and how was it received? With from the startup ecosystem that exists here in Tunisia.
Thank you for asking that question. It's actually a really good question, and it makes me happy to answer it. So our event, it was a small event. It was a small inauguration. It was just between 30 and 40 people max in a small private space. But what was special about it, unlike bigger conferences and other bigger events where everyone is kind of like the own holder of knowledge and like things are a little bit stern, this was the most open space for people to ask questions and learn. I had journalists, I had friends of my parents, I had my own friends, my brother's friends, some influencers, and everyone was just there as a human being, just learning
from his own perspective.
Exactly.
So you have different perspectives of, just like my perspective here. I am trying to learn about this, startup, things that I don't know, like decentralized AI. I never knew that it could exist, but, So.
Exactly. So people really loved that. They found a very supportive environment, a very open environment where everyone was willing to share their ideas, was willing to teach something and learn something. We're not all the holders of knowledge. We learned so much from everyone else. Right. So that's the environment I want to build under Seneca. It's a continuous learning environment where everyone's there to share knowledge, learn stuff, build together and grow together. So it was really good vibes, the event. We even had some collaborations with people that provided us with food and with sweets, like Roussel. She did cheesecakes for us, like small events, and instead of paying with money, which we were willing to do, and that was kind of our plan B, we offered to do collaborations, like partnerships, like, hey, do you want to do this? We'll invite you, we'll make your website later, we'll expose you. And the people that collaborated with us had a really good experience, and we're really thankful for it. So, and us too. Right. So that's kind of what we want to build, this partnerships and collaborations, a really nice environment where there's no single person that's the holder of the truth. The truth is malleable. It's not just black or white. It's not 0 or 1. It's quantum. It could be anything in between. So we can learn from each other, and we can all grow together.
What about the fundraising part? How easy was that?
So the fundraising part, that's what happened in Decentral AI. So
Okay.
after the pitch competition, I was able to get a few people interested in funding Decentral AI. And those, of course, there was a lot of business going on there, equity and percentages and all that, which I don't have a lot of knowledge about, but I'm currently learning and I will continue to learn. Um, so it was easy to get the funds. People really wanted to invest, but of course they're gonna take a big chunk of my project. So Decentral AI is starting to belong to my partners and my investors, and eventually the more money you get, the more percentage we lose. However, Decentral AI is just what provides the funds and the first project to Seneca. Through these partnerships and through these fundraising events, I met a lot of people that also had multiple projects they want to build through the Seneca Innovation Center.
Interesting.
So there's
Right.
plenty of opportunities for funding, and for there's an infinite amount of projects. I know so many people that just want us. They're kind of fighting over us to do their projects at this
Right.
point, and I'm just telling them, hey, we need to build Decentral AI first. We need to grow the team. We need to get everyone up to speed with the knowledge, and everyone make them the engineer that I believe them to be, get them up to that level, and then we can take on more projects.
And what's your projected growth here? Here, I mean, in terms of trying maybe to take this knowledge out of Tunisia. Maybe you came from the US, you brought it back to your home country, but you have the intention maybe to grow even and take it to other countries like, I don't know, Africa, other European countries. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. So, from a knowledge perspective, I believe that knowledge should be completely free and given to everyone without boundaries. And that's kind of the hidden mission behind Seneca Innovation Center. We're already partnering with clubs from schools like INSAT and ONSI.
interesting.
Yeah,
Right.
where we're going to provide. I realize that in the U.S. there's a lot of technologies that come out every day. It's amazing, the things that you can learn. The new technologies are out there. However, not because it came out in the U.S. only the people around it should know. Everyone should know about it and be able to use it, right?
Right.
So that's what we want to provide. As Seneca Innovation Center, we want to create our own uh, network of knowledge and our own base of knowledge that we're going to provide for free to everyone. In fact, we want to partner with nonprofits so we can do training sessions, so we can do free knowledge sharing, so we can provide us all our resources, because I believe that the more you share the knowledge, the more open source approach you go, the more success you're going to have, and the more people will be willing to work with you. Completely the opposite of what people think, that if you keep all the knowledge to yourself, you're going to be successful and you're going to be a holder of something that only you know. But by the time that you get that knowledge, there will be many more things that came out that are much better than it. So let's just share it since the start, and let's hope for the people to come back around us.
Right. Well, I mean, the topic these days is AI in all its, formats. What do you think is the future of this, if I may call it, industry?
Yes, I am happy to share that. So, I can answer this question by telling you why I called the company Seneca Innovation Center. So Seneca is a Roman philosopher.
Right.
He's originally Spanish, but lived in Greece from the ancient times, like after Socrates and Marcus Aurelius. And he believes, he has roots in believing of divinity is how nature flows, like the natural flow of things. And throughout a lot of his philosophical ideas, I realized that currently in the development world, we don't just hire software engineers and like database engineers and front end, back end systems, whatever. You can hire all these people and you're gonna make a team, but for software engineers, for example, they can get very detailed into like fixing codes, like small brackets, small little syntax mistakes, and things like that. That's not the case anymore with AI. AI changed the game. AI, now you just need to learn how to think. and then you just tell it to do it for you. So if you see there's a mistake in your code, you just take that little box of code and you tell it, hey, I know that there's something wrong here. Tell me the potential problems, and then it will tell you, and then tell it, okay, based on these problems, give me the solutions, and then you can try those. So AI will be the developer, not from, it will be just the guy writing for you, like a scribe, like an assistant. But you just need to learn as a developer how to think. That's why I believe that philosophy with technology is the future. It's the mix of, I have a roadmap in my head, I see how it should be built, I'm going to tell you exactly how to build it, and you're going to build it for me.
Well, thinking, I mean, if you take that, I mean, from a philosophical point of view, you think about something and maybe you see that there are some points that are not clear and you ask AI to do it for you. Don't you think that this kind of hinders the thinking process a little bit? And since you rely on an external, maybe medium, to solve the problem for you. So doesn't it, constitute like a kind of a danger to limit, the potential of the way people think, of the way people address problems? Just a very simple example. Before, I don't know, maybe in the 1950s or 60s, we did not have calculators, for instance. So you do what we call calcul mental. Yes. Right. So, and that's a very good exercise for you to be able to solve problems, by relying on your own mental faculties. But now you have an external, medium, which is AI, that can do that for you. So, is there a danger there, or do you see it as a danger or as a potential?
I totally see your point, and it's always brought up. I think it's a misconception in what AI can do for us. How I see it is, if you have self-navigating software in a boat or a car or a plane, shouldn't you use that software and still sit down in front of it just to monitor it? Wouldn't that be easier than just having you be there the whole time with your mental capacity, which, at any moment you can lose control or something? Yeah. However, that doesn't stop the fact that we need the knowledge and the training and the baseline first,
right,
before we get to use those tools. So if you are an engineer, you're a learning engineer, you're about to graduate, there's something called vibe coding. What that is just telling the AI to do stuff for you without knowing anything. That has many limitations. Like, you can build a small application, but that's never going to scale. That's never going to work with multiple clients. You're going to have many issues.
Right.
So you still need the calcul mental. You still need to learn the basis and know what you are telling the AI. That's what makes you a distinguished engineer. Right. That's what makes you good. And then the AI will just save you time, so you're not just writing it yourself, so you're not just going to Google to copy a thing and try it. It will do that process for you.
Right.
So it'll just save you time, and time's money and resources.
Time is money.
It'll make you a better engineer.
Right.
Because you can be a lot more productive.
Right. Okay, so maybe the final question, Marouen, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to become an entrepreneur?
Yes, I would say not to be afraid, just to jump ship, just to do it right away. And then the most important piece of advice I would say is to collaborate with people, to do partnerships, not to be afraid of sharing your ideas, not to be afraid of sharing your knowledge. But
there is, again, here the danger of the intellectual property, and you gave us an example a while ago about, the experience that you had in the US, where they said, you don't have to, you cannot take the idea, it's ours.
That's a very good point. But what I did to make up for that, I open sourced the project. I rebuilt it.
Right.
Which took me time, right? Differently. Still same idea, but I rebuilt it differently.
Since it's your baby, so you know how to manipulate it.
Not just that, but because I made it open source and I gave it to everyone for free,
right,
I had so much support around the world. I had many people just come and just develop it and help me for free. And then they grew my idea and they grew my project, and we actually ended up having a good mission to help people, and something came out of it.
Right.
Whereas the other project, that was the intellectual property within the company, stayed there and nobody did anything with it, and I didn't want to help them myself. So that died off, whereas the other open source project succeeded and went
Wonderful,
on.
wonderful.
Yes.
Well, Marouen, thank you so much. I mean, the advice maybe is to believe in your dreams. You believed in your dream. You took it to the US and you believed in it. You came back to rebuild it here. So, congratulations for this beautiful, Center of Innovation, SENECA. And we wish you all the best and more success in your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you so
welcome.
much.
And enjoy your trip to the US. You're going back tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Right.
I'm going back tomorrow. I would just say one last thing is SENECA Innovation Center is for us to believe in people the same way I was believed in. So I want to give that back, both to my country, to my friends that I grew up with and that are really good engineers. And I know there's really smart people out there in Tunisia that are way smarter than me.
Sure.
I want to tell them not to give up in their dreams, not to go for مسمار في حيط.
That's right.
Ideas.
A nail in the wall.
No, you have big dreams and big ideas. We believe in you. Hit us up. We will help you out. We believe in you and we want to see you succeed.
And we will follow you up.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Marouen. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
When I was young, I was free.